Good Thursday morning? Jeez, I tell you, I was just say good Thursday evening. Yeah, it's early. And what are we doing today? So it's another adventure of the Ice Age day and electric vehicle conversations, Hellcat conversations. So what the heck is going on today? What's the agenda today? When you do a YouTube channel and you bring people content, yeah, just watch my channel. Yeah, how simple is that, right? And look at how, for my subscriber base, thank you everybody that subscribed. But I'm just a little flea in the sands of the Saharas compared to other guys. So what's going on here today? Look here. Have you seen me drive this Ford Tremor Ranger? You haven't. I haven't driven that thing in ages. Oh geez, look at that. So last night, that's so funny. I rolled up this window twice and it didn't went up and it came back down. What's going on with that? So I left the truck outside last night. I just really love this Raptor. As each day progresses, I'm just really liking this thing more and more. I'm just getting more in tune with it. And I just really love that truck. Even though, I had, you second guess yourself, how life is like that. So a beautiful morning up here. And boy, I tell you, the summer's passing us. It's now late August. Wow. There's a school bus. This is crazy. So this is now the official first day of school for Loudoun County, Virginia. It's possible. I think it is. Or is the driver doing his practice run? I don't think so. This just may be the first day of school. Wow. And up, most areas it's after Labor Day up north, but it's kind of changed around here. So, but anyways, so just really loving the Raptor truck. But today it's about the Ford Ranger. So yeah, so what's that all about, right? And here's the Mach E. Look at that, the EV age, Ice Age EV age. Charging. Did it charge all the way up? Yes, it did. So, this thing gets, we're driving the heck out of this thing. This thing here, it's already got 10,000 miles on it. And we're just, the guy that works for me, I'm letting him drive this just because it just kind of makes sense. But at the same time, if I leave him in this vehicle, this thing will have 30,000, 40,000 miles on it 1 year. So is it worth it? Back then, what happens then is, I cross the bridge. You ain't getting rid of this thing unless you write a big fat check to get rid of it, because it's gonna be a high mileage car, which people are like, no, thank you. But we're giving it the test. One thing for sure about this car, we're driving it every day. We're working this thing, and knock on wood, knock on batteries, whatever you want to talk about. It's playing out pretty good so far. So, anyways, yeah. So what's the conversations today? I've got the GT500s and the Hellcat Stories, which there's a lot more going on than I've disclosed about that, which I can disclose this time. And it's just interesting how I post these videos, people that I know that, follow me along, and people are Dodge people and Ford people. And, so for me, they hear my conversations, my forum Dodge friends that, are great friends that I'm in a forum, the Hellcat community. And, I sometimes think they take my conversations a little too harsh about how I can sometimes beat up the Dodge Hellcat. But, the thing is for me, I just kind of tell it the way it is. And, and some people kind of think sometimes, and I get all this, you got an attachment and a love and a passion for your vehicle. And somebody kind of, makes a statement that you don't think is, fair or accurate. And, I get sometimes responses from that of people like, hey, what you're talking about is, what are you talking about? What are you saying? So for me, I have a passion for all vehicles, and every vehicle in my eyes has quirks, has issues. So, and that's my challenge in life is I've owned so many cars because I get bored of them. I just find the quirks I don't like, and I just like something different. That's my challenge in life is me just changing out of vehicles because I just want something different and new. And even though the vehicle I had was truly incredible or badass, but now, with the EV age upon us, I'm kind of stepping back a little bit more and thinking, man, maybe I ought to try to salvage that Ice Age vehicle that I've owned before, and do I do that more than ever? Does the EV age really start to make the Ice Age vehicles, like I spoke about yesterday, even more sought after more than ever? I think they are. I really think that as time progresses, more and more people are going to wake up and realize the high performance Ice Age vehicles that are factory produced cars are going away, and you just may want to grab one sooner than later, because later you're probably going to pay a lot of money for these vehicles. I just think ET500 product line is going to be a valuable, very valuable. I just can't see these cars losing value. I just don't know why they would. And just like the Hellcat product, I cannot see that product losing value. And I think the Red Eye, I really think the Red Eye product, which, does, the Red Eye in the Hellcat line of products, it's not a dime a dozen, vehicle. So, when it comes to finding those used in the market, as time progresses, people are finding out it's like, yeah, you can't find them. I've done my research here lately, and there are a lot of Hellcats out there. There's a decent amount of Hellcats out there. Are there a lot of Red Eyes? Nope. I mean, there's not. So, and some people that watch my channel, what's so special about the Red Eye? Well, the Red Eye is the Demon motor. The Hellcat non-Red Eye, that's the regular original Hellcat motor that was put in the car, the 6.2 motor. So the Red Eye has the detuned Demon motor. It's a whole different engine. It's a motor that you can push, to its limits. And don't get me wrong, the 6.2 Hellcat motor, non-Demon, you can do a lot with that. It's not like, I'm not going to come across anybody here watching my video that you can't take the regular Hellcat motor and make a lot of power out of it and do a lot of things with it. That would be misinformation. But it's just the theme. It's just, hey, I got myself a Demon, but it's a Red Eye, and that's why I never bought the Demon. Demon's cool, but I just didn't like the suspension setup. And I wasn't one to buy it just to park it and think that down the road I could make a bunch of money off of it, even though, that would have been a good investment if you got it for the right price. No doubt, if you got the right price and did the right thing, you could have possibly made $25,000, $50,000 off that car. So anyways, follow me along today as I get my Ranger out and set up to go work out of, and what's going to be the conversation today, right? Not going to be about what I just said totally, but maybe, right? But so follow me along. Yeah, I've got a Demon sticker. Come on. I even have Demon, tags, car tags. One thing about the Ford product I really like is the fact that you can remotely start these. Not just a nice package. This Ford Ranger is just such a great vehicle. You don't get a lot of attention with this, and I kind of get that. It's a Ranger truck. It doesn't really excite many people, but this Ranger TRD, see there? I'm such a Toyota guy. It's not a TRD, it's a Tremor package. So the Ranger Tremor package, which I truly thought when they released this was kind of like, come on, they put a sticker on it and whip-de-doo-dah. Well, how wrong was they about that? This thing is just a really nice, this is just a great vehicle. And I'm going to be driving today, nice interior. So that's why I'm doing my little video here to share my ideas. But I got to get this thing kind of cleaned up and organized so I can work out of it, because it's all about being ready to work. So there's my wife. My wife drove this last. Oh, she's got it on auto. What does she have? One thing I don't like about this is the way I don't like how you change the temperatures. You can't even see this. When you're kind of further back, you can't even see these little buttons. That is one criticism of the vehicle. And then, of course, right now it's on separate, it's on dual, which I don't want that. And, oh, no, it's not on auto. See, now just listen to the car. Listen here. See, nobody knows how to use the auto air conditioning heating. People just, I talk about this all the time. I even tell my wife, it's just a waste of time. Nobody understands how to use. People pay extra money for the auto. Nobody knows how to use it. I mean, so just incredible. It manages your temperature of your car correctly. When you take it off, you have to personally, if I hit the fan button, watch. So it turns off the auto. So that's what happens. Everybody turns on the fan button. Once you touch this fan button, it takes away the auto. The auto, if I want to make this thing colder, listen. Okay, so the fan picks up, right? Look, it does. All you do is use the temperature setting, and the auto sensing the temperature of the vehicle to tell you, how much force of air it needs to circulate to get it to the correct temperature. All right, let's get this truck moved around. Look, I parked my Raptor. We're now, I got to finagle around that, right? The nice thing about the Ranger truck is it got this good old handbrake. See there? Good old handbrake, And yesterday I was talking about that Rivian, and I had one person weigh in on my YouTube channel that, said that I'm doing the misinformation on that Rivian, which, as an individual, okay, I'm more than happy to hear what I'm misinforming people. And so that individual claims that, the water bottle thing is misrepresented by me, which I don't understand that. I mean, he's... he or she, it's a he, I believe, is saying that, that car has more storage than I realized. Well, I couldn't find it, so I don't know. It isn't the hate. It's not the hate of the Rivian, but here's the Ranger truck, okay? And just this Ranger truck, here's 2 water bottle holders. Here's 2 water bottle holders. Here's 2 water bottle holders. We've got another, one here in the back on each side of the truck, one in the center console. So this truck has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 water bottle holders. That Rivian had 4. I mean, and they were just cheesy. I mean, beyond cheesy to me. If you had a little pull-out tray, I didn't really show it that well in that video of how that water bottle thing just pulls out and retracts back in. So, yeah, okay, all right. I haven't even had breakfast. I haven't even had coffee. I got a lot going on today, so follow me along. The steps on these, they're pretty nice, but kind of getting in and out of the truck. The truck's kind of too low to me to really justify those. But, I mean, it's a nice theme. Some probably here watching my videos like, why aren't you driving the Bronco today? Or why don't you drive the F-250? We never see you drive that thing. I mean, right, why aren't you driving that? Why aren't you driving the GT500 now? No, but it's pretty crazy. I've shedded so many vehicles, cry for me, right? I mean, what could I drive today that I got rid of last week, right? Sad stories for you, right? Sorry, the Tremor truck, it's sad. I don't even clean this thing. I mean, I rarely ever drive it, or I do, but I don't. But you know what? My favorite thing about the new products in the market is these bed rugs. I just love these bed rugs. And I just love these roll-up tonneau covers. It took me years to realize, I work on this truck, and this is a perfect work truck. It's a great vehicle. And this bed rug is just so nice. And to me, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're putting, some type of liquids back here and really, I don't know. I mean, all I can say is this bed cover is the way to go. So, all right, we'll have more conversations as the morning progresses. Everybody has their car wash techniques, and for me, I've tried a lot of different products out there, and this Citrus Blast Wash and Wax, I think, is one of the better car wash out there to clean your vehicle. I really do like that. And so if you look at the car going, that thing's not dirty. It's not real dirty, but I haven't cleaned it in ages. It's pretty crazy on how I used to just be the guy that washes cars every day of his life, and I just have so evolved away from that. Just too many things else going on in life, but I'm just not really so fixated on the vehicle's paint not holding up. I mean, today's paint technology is so much better than so many years ago. And the other thing is, how long do I keep a car? So anybody watching my video be like, yeah, why do you worry about that, dude? You'll be gone with that thing in a year. Yeah, I hear you. All They're fine as long as I clean up the Ranger truck. And yeah, does it really need it? Need the bath? I feel guilty. I'm gonna take care of it. Yeah, hey, look at here. I mean, look at this here. Wow, that's some pretty heavy bird stains right there. Look at the paint. No beating up at all. This thing really needs a nice wax job. You know, I live up here in the country, and I'm in well water, and oh my gosh, if you let this sun hit these windows, if I don't get moving on this pretty quickly, it'll etch these windows. Yeah, how do I know? Yeah, that sun just literally, this is just such heavy, you know, water. So, yikes, let me keep on moving here. I use this Spray 9. I think Spray 9 is one of the best products you can get out there to really clean up your vehicle. It's not cheap stuff, but I think it just does a really good job. Anybody out there looking for a good tire wheel cleaner? I mean, I've never had any issue with nice wheels with doing anything to it. So what I do is I usually hit the wheels and tires first and just get that out of the way. And then start giving her a good old bath right here. So just ideas. Everybody has their routine. You know, you can even spray it on, I mean, I've sprayed this on painted surface. In fact, probably be an idea to spray this up here on this, because this bird stains pretty bad. I mean, don't let the sun bake into it. All right, you can see how good that cleans the tires up. Look at that. And now I haven't even touched this. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll have to get my sponge on that, you know. But yeah, it's definitely knocking it off. So look at that. Look at all this. That's Spray 9. I think it's just a great product. You know, you don't find that everywhere. You know, I actually ordered on Amazon. I mean, I'm not lying. You can go to many stores and they don't have it. So if anybody's interested in getting that Spray 9 product, you just order online. I recommend you buy a separate bottle to do the refills. You know, I've got the gallon refill, which I'll show you right here. You know, see there? So it's just great stuff. You know, I'm finding a bunch of these bird stains. I mean, this stuff's like etched in. I mean, I'm having to put that Spray 9 on. But even at that, look at that. I mean, it's literally that bird poop has etched into the paint. It's because I had these birds living in my freaking barn. And I mean, this is going to take me probably getting my Meguiar's fine cut cleaner out to do this. So, you know, you don't see this when a truck's just kind of dirty. You don't see all this little, you know, deterioration in your paint. That's the danger of not washing your cars regularly, right? Like, you got nothing else to do, right? You know, years ago, where I'd trade a car in, I'd sit there and I cleaned all up and everything, and that does nothing for you. The guy in the side dealership doesn't give it to, he doesn't care. He's going to look at the book values and auction values, and that's the number. So if you think clean your car up before you go trade it in to get you more money, unless it's just totally trashed, yes. If it's not, you're wasting your time. Move on here. These windows get etched. Now one trick I use, this little blower here to blow my car off. It's kind of my way of I manage my vehicles here. You can take this here, and there's your little automatic blower, like it's a car wash, kind of. You know what I mean? Alright, probably just an idea here. Get the areas where you can't really, you know what I mean? Alright, making headway here. Now we're doing the tire shine. And, you know, if you actually ever run the numbers of what you're going to spend in your car to clean it, and in today's car wash industry, it's gotten so big and so competitive. You know, you can sign up for a monthly subscription, and in all sincereness, if you were to wash your car on a regular basis at home, you'd probably be more money than taking it to your car wash on a subscription basis. Now, I'm not talking about the detailing of inside the car. I'm just talking about as far as the exterior. You know, that Mach-E in there, we have a $40 a month unlimited, you know, wash, wax, tire shine on that vehicle in there. So that vehicle there can be taken to the car wash and unlimited times for $40. Now for me, it'd get very expensive if I started putting that in all my cars, because it's exclusive to the car. You know, it has a tag, and they put a little sticker in the window, so it's not like I could just sign up for 40 bucks and whatever car I bring up there, they're going to clean. You know, once again, you know, the vehicle exterior, if you're doing what I'm doing, the tires shine and the wash, the soap and water, if you're on a water bill in town, you know, I'd have a hard time believing at the end of the day you're going to be, you know, spending less money than going to the car wash if you did it on a regular basis. But at the same time, you know, I'm going to clean the interior on this truck and, you know, go the extra 9, you know, go the extra mile, and you know, and then there's no way in that scenario, because I think that's more like a $70, you know, a month, or $80 a month subscription, maybe more than that. I don't even know. All right, yes, I got the exterior nice and clean, but now I got the interior to play with. All right, just got done, you know, doing all the tire shine. You got to back the truck up to finish it up, get the low areas, and yeah, gee, look at my Bronco. That hasn't been hand washed in ages. That needs to be cleaned. I mean, for me, I'm not embellishing. I used to spend every day of my life washing my cars. I used to do that. I just don't do that anymore, you know, and I should have owned my own car wash. You have no idea how many times I actually tried to buy a car wash and start a car wash, which that would be a heck of a business today more than ever. Even the point that these car washes are now butting up with each other. I mean, there's now major investment. There's major investments in the car wash industry, where if you follow the stock market, there's a big car wash company that went public like last year. And so investors are now really buying into these car wash businesses because they see it's a very lucrative business, because they get subscriptions. Like the gyms, you know, the fitness gyms. That's a big growing trend, that a lot of little car washes are being bought up and gobbled up by the big guys, you know. And just like I showed you this tire shine, you know, if you go to the Advanced Auto Parts, this could be $6, $7, $8. I get like a 3-pack from Costco for like $10 or something like that. But, you know, I just used up half a can, you know. So if you just run that, you do this vehicle 2 times, there's $8. You know, you go through 2-3 of these cans in 1 month, you know, you're getting close to the subscription-based wash the car exterior. All right, let me keep on getting morning and get the truck cleaned up inside. We'll be good to go to work today. And there goes the kid off to college. That's her favorite ride, the Mustang. There she's revving it up. It's automatic rev. Yep, car's coming down the street. Busy street. Morning time. Yeah, she's stuck. All right, time to jump in the Ranger and take a ride. And, you know, I'm sure some people today are saying, what's going on, man? I mean, why are you driving the Ranger truck today? And, you know, I get to thinking to myself about how we operate. You know, I mean, got the F450, Tremor, Raptor, got the Bronco. You know, I've got a lot of options to a degree, even though I've kind of narrowed them down because I've gotten rid of so many vehicles. So I'm sure some would be like, you know, this guy got a video of him cleaning his car. Yeah. Okay, it's just a car wash day, and you know, and now you know what's going on. You know, come on, just cut to the chase and tell me what's going on. Yeah, I am. You know, and the reason I'm driving the Ranger today is because it's all about impressions. You know, vehicles are status. I mean, you know, the good news and bad news is vehicles are status symbols. You know, so the good news is the guys are riding around in the really cool, fancy looking cars. I wonder who that is. then the guy that rides around, not such a great looking car that's a clunker, what's the perception? When you stop and think about people's cars and you see a guy roll up in a nice car, your perception of that person is that, they're an accomplished, successful person. When you see the guy roll up in the clunker, you truly believe that the guy, is struggling financially and he hasn't made the best choices in life. I can't get out of this gate. This gate just drives me nuts. If me talking, I can't hear it. The challenges of just living at your own freaking house drives you nuts. And the reason I have a gate in my property is because all the yahoos drive in my freaking driveway. Then I have dogs that run out in the road because everybody. I live out in the country, and people have all these roads to walk down, and for whatever reason, there's streets up there, way over there. And everybody has to bring their dog all the way down to the stop sign in front of my house. Now, I get it. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. But at the same time, it's a total, whoa, I'm going to hit the mailbox today. At the same time, my dogs go nuts. So I have to have my property gated. Yeah, get the electric fence put in. Blah, 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 whatever. I ain't doing that. So anyways, whole conversation here is impressions. You drive a vehicle. People, they size you up. That's just how we are as humans. The way we dress, look, talk, act, that's just how we operate. And vehicles, more than ever, are, just that. You size somebody up by the type of vehicle they drive. So for me, as a business owner, and me being a salesman most of my life, years and years ago, as an individual, when you roll up in front of a person in a nice, fancy, expensive car, instantly the impression is you make a lot of money. So, that has the negative connotations at work. I know that for a fact there's people that own vehicles will never, ever take them to the office. They'll never do it because it radiates to other employees that they work with that they're better than them, that they have more money than them. So the husband may be making a lot of money at home, and the wife, or it could be vice versa, the wife could be making a lot of money at home, and the husband doesn't make a lot of money. So when the guy shows up to the office in his Mercedes-Benz, that's $100,000, everybody scratches their head. How the hell does this guy own this when his wife is the bread and butter money maker that makes all the money? So, the guy won't do that. And the wife would probably even be like the same, like, no, I don't want all your friends at work knowing how much money we make and blah, blah, blah. And all, the list goes on and on and on. And this is huge. Even to the point that I have some relationships with business owners that they drive around. I'm not lying. There's this one guy that's just got worth millions. He's worth millions. And he's classic. He drives around a piece of crap old car. Meanwhile, he's got a GT3 sitting in his garage, Corvettes. He's got boats. He's got properties. This guy's got money gazoo, right? But when he drives around in the daytime to his businesses that he manages, the people he interacts with, he drives around a piece of crap car. He doesn't want the people to think that he's a rich guy, but everybody knows he is, but he just doesn't want to share all his toys. I have had so many conversations with people in own businesses that, like me, I work out of my property. So if anybody works for me, they see all the stuff I have. But I know of so many business owners that have businesses, that are separate from their house because it wouldn't work for the business they're in, but they will not drive their fancy vehicles to work. They will not talk about the beach house they have. They will not talk about the big ass boat they have. They hide all this stuff. And so, so that's what I'm trying to convey to you this morning. Now going to noon, with me getting on the road to go see a customer. So yeah, I'm going to go see a customer today, one of my customers, and I just know the way people operate. When I roll up in my brand new Ford Raptor, the impression of that guy is, you make way too much money. But yet there's that guy, this individual specific, the young kid, he's sitting there in his $120,000 Land Rover. It's like, okay. Yeah, a 28-year-old kid calling me out. I'm rich. This kid's 28 years old, and his daddy and uncle own a ton of businesses where he's making a boatload of money. But hey, I'm the problem. So, so that was what I was thinking about this morning was what would be a good theme for today's Ice Age TV conversations, with the ongoing, the Rivian, test drive yesterday and the Hellcat Stories, which that's getting a little more deeper now. It's getting a little more detailed. How much do I disclose or do I do not disclose? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Let's focus more about the impression. So when you drive vehicles, it radiates who you are and, and what you are. That's the way it is. And so for the rich people, they're embarrassed. And not all of them. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying there's people like, okay, give me an example. My wife, I bought her a beautiful Range Rover Sport. And it wasn't $100,000. It was like $75,000, okay? But for the job that she's in, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of car. It's, and so, but it radiates that Range Rover elitist. I had the Jaguars and Land Rovers here about 5 years ago. I just kind of went on that little mission of having the elitist cars, and I did all that. And then I just got like, I don't want anything to do with this. You go hang out at the dealership with all the elitist people at the Land Rover, Jaguar dealership. I just totally separated myself from that. I just didn't feel right. I'm not lying. I just was like, I don't want to be part of this. People are like, yeah, but you ride around in the Mustang. I don't ride around my GT500. I don't ride around in highline expensive cars. Ford Raptor, it's a truck. Yeah, I get it, but you know as well as I do, rolling up in $100,000+ Range Rover versus a Ford pickup truck, it's two different things. A Ford Bronco, come on. $50,000, $30,000, $60,000 car, depending on how you option it out. So for my wife, I bought this beautiful Range Rover for her, and she wouldn't drive it to work. It might drive me nuts, because I have this really expensive car sitting in the driveway, and she won't drive it to work. She wants nothing to do with it. And what's really interesting is, what happened is, this is pre-fiasco in my life in 2008. Back in 2006, 7, 2008, I did buy some Mercedes-Benz. I bought some Mercedes-Benz, and I'm going to tell you what. Yeah, talk about, I was kind of really taken back that, it's a Mercedes. Wow, really? These Mercedes have these type of problems and issues? It drives like this? Yeah, why'd I buy them? Anyways, so I bought my wife 2 nice Mercedes-Benz SUVs because she rotates so many miles. I told that in my other videos. My wife drives about 100 miles a day. I always have had 2 cars for her to rotate the miles. I just don't feel like taking the car to the dealership every, 1.5 month, 2 months to get serviced. And so I've always, I want to keep the miles down if I ever want to get rid of one. So she had 2 Mercedes. Well, she drove those to work. Well, her claim to me is everybody looked at her differently and everybody treated her differently. That is, I'm not embellishing here. She, to this day, will not drive a fancy car. Now, you could say, well, she drives the Mustang Mach-E. Well, you know what? In today's world, a Mustang Mach-E, even though, they get expensive, but at the same time, they're not looked at that way. A Mustang Mach-E, they're not looked at a status symbol like a Range Rover, a Mercedes, a BMW. So just as an example, my own wife, she will not drive highline cars to work. She did it. I finally convinced her to do it back in 2006, 7, 8, and she was just so unhappy because she felt like she got tarnished at work. You think I'm making this stuff up? I am not. This is real stories of how cars, and for me personally, I can relate with this. I understand. There's the train tracks. You see this area here? This is the train station. Ever since the pandemic came in, empty. The lot is empty. This lot used to be full to the brim for people commuting to Washington, D.C. to go to work in the morning, and now I'd say it's a third full. Yeah, I'd say maybe it's a third full. Those people don't really worry about what car they drive. They drive to the train station and park it. But who's going to drive a really nice car to the train station and park it, let it sit there all day unattended? Yeah, drive a Dodge Challenger Hellcat to the train station every day. See how long that lasts, right? With the security issues of those vehicles being stolen so easily. So yeah, even for me, years and years ago when I started my career, I had some decent vehicles. I had some nice cars. Had a Plymouth Cuda when I started working, and I had I started working at a Chevrolet truck, but it was a nice truck that I lifted and I took pride and joy of. And immediately, just me and starting my career in an auto parts store, the older guys there were jealous of me because I rolled up in 1982 in a 1978 Chevy truck, red, all clean and polished and looks cool. And already the older guys were, looked at me like some spoiled brat, even though I worked every one of them. I just sat in their ass all day and smoked and didn't want to do a damn thing. And they're wondering why they're 50 years old and they're not going anywhere in life. It's like, hello, how old are you? And you're sitting here, don't want to do anything all day long, and you're looking at me like I'm the problem. Anyways, so just from very young beginnings, even going to high school. Even I was in high school in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, driving, at that time, my dad's red Chevy truck to school or his green Datsun 280Z, I was looked at differently. That's how it is. And so then as I progressed in my career and I got into sales eventually, the number one mistake you can make as a sales guy, that you're trying to pick up a customer and present to him, you're going to help him make more money and save him money, and you roll up your high fancy, outfit, you got your gold chains on, your Rolex watch, you're driving your Beamer, I guess in today's world, in some aspects, that probably works, but down in my day getting going, you roll up to a guy, so I was in the fuel industry, so I'm pitching to guys to help save them money on fuel. So if I roll up in my fancy 911 turbo Porsche, and that's a funny story, one of the sales guys there started making so much money, he bought one of those, and the owner of the company made him not drive that on sales calls. He was like, you cannot drive that car on a sales call. You cannot go to your customers in that car. Absolutely not. You're now sharing that you're making too much money off of selling them fuel. Yeah. So anyways, that's a true story. This is a good friend of mine that I worked with in the oil industry back in the late 80s. So the whole point is to roll up in your fancy dancy car at a business and you're presenting them, you're going to be more efficient for them. You're going to help them cut costs and you're going to make them more money, but yet you're, living this lavish lifestyle. Hey, who does that, right? So the whole connect the dots. That's my saying in life. Connect the dots. So the person's standing there, and they're like, "Oh man, this guy just makes too much money. There's no way this guy's gonna give us a deal because this guy makes too much money." So going back to the Ranger. Why am I driving the Ranger today? Well, in all sincereness, this Ranger truck's a lot of fun to drive. It's a great truck. I got rid of my Toyota Tacoma Pros in place of those for the Rangers, and here's the thing, it's the impressions, and I can guarantee you people watching my channel can relate with this so well that they have that issue. They have a friend or colleague, family member that they know of that hides their fancy cars from their employees, employers, whatever it may be, because they don't want to come across as I'm so special and look at me. And that's something about my YouTube channel. I just never wanted to do the YouTube channel for exactly that reason. I just wanted nothing to do with showing off all the things I have, because I know it can radiate, look at me, I'm special, you're not so special. I hate that stuff. I don't have anything to do with it. I just love having cars and trucks and motorcycles. I just love toys, It's not about making you happy. It's about making myself happy, right? Oh, you freaking self, motivated, all for you, nothing for us, right? You SOB. Yeah, it's all about you, not about me, right? Yeah, I get all that. And sadly, in our life, if you look around, yeah, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and who has all the stuff, right? Do the rich share all the stuff? But you have to honestly say too, there are some really good, well-do rich people that do donate community time. They give out money, so there is that as well. But I know there's a lot of dirt balls that don't do that. They just suck everything for themselves and don't share the money with the family, and and they just really they're just really bad. I mean, they're just bad. It's all mine, none of yours. And for me as an individual, I'd say I help take care of my family, and I don't want anybody giving me anything. I really don't. I don't want anybody giving me anything. I don't, and they haven't. People don't. I mean, I'm a guy that's working every day, and working every day. Guys say, "Weren't you down in freaking Florida?" Yeah, that's about my mom. Sadly, my mother's 89 years old, and and I'm down there trying to help take care of her, and and trying to help her get better, and that's what it's all about. So for me, that was about family. About me just having personal vacation time. It was vacation, but it's more about the family and everybody that's progressing in life. You understand that more than ever as your parents get older and your brother and sisters get older. You get all that. So, but going back to the impressions of the vehicles that we drive reflect onto others of who we are. And like I say, some people go to great extremes to avoid people knowing really the wealth and the success that they have. I mean, it's incredible, really. And I'm not lying. As an individual, telling stories about people I know personally that will not share, the employees and people around and other businesses of what they have. Because it makes the people think that they're making too much money. Yeah, right. I mean, that's the reality. Meanwhile, as people own multiple homes all across the world, you don't even know that, or whatever. Sorry. So that was kind of the first thing I was thinking about this morning was, the impressions that our cars give to others, and how a lot of us are ashamed to share what we have because we feel like we'll be mocked in some ways of what things we've succeeded with and we have. And I'm not saying everybody's this way. I'm just saying I think a lot of people, this person here, I don't know, I've got a person that's driving weird. I mean, this person goes on the road and then they come to like a stop, and it's a dealer tag vehicle. And for me, I can go to the sport mode in this thing here, and it just kind of opens up, but it's really weird. So now this person's blasting. So this person went from like 30 miles an hour, and now they're going to go to like 50, 60 miles an hour. And they're just kind of sporadic. Who has these experiences? So now I went to the sport mode. See here, that S mode? When you go to the sport mode in this vehicle, it doesn't happen on the this guy here. I mean, he's radical. He'll be going along and he just starts to stop. I mean, see, watch this. So you see what's going on here in front of me? I'm not going faster. I'm just holding my speed. So now the person's going to blast up. But watch the crest of this hill. I think they'll put their brake lights on and come to a stop. I just think they're unfamiliar with this road and they get nervous, but they go really fast, but then they come to like a stop. So anyway, so this here, it's a sport mode setting on the S. And I never even knew this. I never even knew until a gentleman that I work with showed me on how these Rangers, you're not really actually getting all of that, power because you're in the wrong gear. And he was right. It's just like the sports section or the mode setting that we have in these cars that I show you all the time. You dial out from normal to sport, and the vehicle just, all of a sudden comes to life. Oh, the roads, the challenge of the roads. I live on the roads, and, it isn't the road that's a challenge. It's the people that are on the road that's a challenge. Who doesn't know this conversation? Okay? I mean, then they have this country road. They have a speed camera over that hill. So let's see if that guy, I've witnessed this so many times where people drive like that and then they go over that hill and there's a speed camera and you just see him get the flash. And I saw one person one day where this lady was furious. I mean, she turned around and you just tell she was so mad that happened to her, So, oh well, it is what it is, right? Oh, my goodness gracious, man. Just the information age beyond information age, right? Misinformation age. So, all right. So kind of wrapped up the the impressions, car conversations. It's really interesting what's going on in the car industry. I mean, the car industry is just so changing. It is changing more than ever. And I mean, it's just going to the total online order your car. I mean, it's going that direction. I mean, these car dealerships, I've said it for years, they're running their business in archaic ways. And I won't go into all the details if I think that, but here's something to think about. There's a great article I read about the buildings, commercial buildings. Commercial buildings are getting killed. Shopping malls are getting killed. The whole change of the way we work, the way we shop, the way we transportation, everything's changing. And, people just don't kind of connect the dots, and think to yourselves, okay, so all those big government buildings downtown, all those big business buildings downtown and around metropolitan areas, how is the owners of these big businesses justifying paying rent for empty space? And as we know, they're seeing that people can work from home. I talked about this yesterday. People work from home and accomplish the same thing to a degree. So, the big businesses are seeing the whole model change on their end, which is changing the model. If you own a big business, or I should say a big building with tenants in it, that now all can work from home most of the time, how's that going to play out? You're going to have an empty building, and it's happening. And the reason I'm talking about this is because what's happening is the investment, people, I'm not the stock market savvy guy, should be, because it'd probably be worth millions upon millions if I would have invested my money properly. But we've heard the great stories and sad stories on that as well. But the point is, you've had, investments in commercial real estate for so many years because it's given healthy returns back to the investors. Well, there's a whole article today in the Wall Street Journal about how that's all changing, and these investors are starting to sell off properties. So, more than ever, these big commercial properties are taking a whole new face, meaning that, in Manhattan, this is a fact. In Manhattan, they're changing all these office buildings into condominiums and apartments. So, everything's changing in the commercial real estate sector. And then you go to the malls, you're seeing how malls are converting into, town centers, where people have apartments, condos, businesses are based around them, where you don't have to drive up the road, you go to the store. You can have a Trader Joe's, right below you, restaurants, the health club, the movie theater, the bars, the restaurants. So many things are all compacted into one, where if you're working from home, you don't even need to drive your car, except maybe on the weekend when you want to take a free-spirited drive to go see some scenery and just get out of the freaking house and get out of the environment. And this is really happening more than ever. So the work from home implications is really starting to play out, a lot. And even to the point that you have to wonder, when does it transition into the car markets, where a lot of people just are like, you know what, I don't want 3 cars, I only want 1 car, or I don't even want a car, I'll just rent a car on the weekend. I mean, that's gone on for years, but is that going to even start to prevail more? And then you take the variable of the workshops, the guys that work on cars and service them. If people aren't driving them, they don't need to be serviced. So over long term, do the repair shops start to suck wind because they don't have that, return customer that's driving the wheels off their car? I mean, so there's so many things that are happening in the car industry in itself that's having an impact on the economy, just beyond people selling and buying cars. But here's another thing to think about. I truly believe the goal of the big manufacturers are just to get rid of a good percentage of these car dealerships. I truly believe they want to downsize them. They want to, micromanage them. And they just want to rewrite the whole, sales book and sales experience from what we've all been brought up with, which is borderline archaic, to a whole different business model. But what goes with that is the dealership doesn't need as big a footprint, and so then you start thinking that through, because many car dealerships years and years ago sold out to these investors that bought up their properties for investment to see a return on their monies, where the values of the properties went up during the commercial real estate. Well, okay, if the car market starts to do a whole different way of doing transactions and car dealerships start downsizing and closing, then that whole portfolio for these investors, that all starts to change. So what does it do to the commercial real estate market? I mean, there's so many variables and things going on in our society more than ever that I think over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be change, and it'll be change for the better. We all hope it's the better, but at the same time, one man's sad story is another man's happy story. That's just how it is. So, just here, it's just incredible how cars have such a impact on, the whole system of our livelihood. And, I've mentioned this years and years ago. You go to third world countries, we become a third world country very quickly should we, no more gas, no more cars. You just take gas and cars. I mean, that's the main foundation of this whole country. I mean, you just people would be laughing at that statement. But if you take away the cars and the gas, I mean, and yeah, what's happening? I mean, stop and think about it. The governing bodies truly would rather see more mass transportation. They'd rather see less vehicles on the road. They'd rather see electrified vehicles on the road. They'd like to see the fossil fuels go away. I mean, the list goes on and on. And, and talking about that, a lot of people don't understand the gas taxes, the gas monies and revenues that are generated, through these vehicles. And, and they just don't understand that you go buy gas, and that's a tax income for the states, fed and state. And so, if you stop and think about it, if the people driving electric vehicles are going to do what they're doing, geez, I tell you, man, there's just some people, it's crazy. I just had a guy blast in front of me, and then gets in front of me, all he does is ride his brakes. I mean, it's just, like I said, driving the roads isn't the challenge. The challenge is, and here's a guy in his Mercedes, and let's see if we can catch him, right? So, anyways, the road taxes. Where do the road taxes go once you drive electric vehicles? And I've talked about this numerous times. Well, I'm hearing from this one guy that presents gloom and doom all the time about the country coming to an end, the economy coming to an end. I'm not embellishing on that. That's his whole video channel. Every day, tune into his video channel, and I mean, hundreds of thousands of it's insane how many people watch his videos, and it's all about everything's coming to an end. Everything's coming to an end. You better sell everything and cash out, and you better be ready. You better have your house stocked up. I mean, I'm not making fun of the guy. I'm just telling you the way he operates. And so he's saying on one of his videos here recently that the state of California is going to start the per mile tax on your vehicle. So as you drive down the road, they're going to tax you for every mile you drive in a vehicle. Well, an electric vehicle, I can kind of understand that because they've lost the tax base for the gas motor fuel taxes. But if you're a guy driving a gasoline car that goes to the gas station and still buys fuel that is applied to the road taxes, why are you paying a per mile road tax when you've already paid and contributed to at the fuel pump? I don't know. I don't know all the details on that, but I said it years ago that all these people driving electric vehicles are going to think that they're going to have their heyday. If I can drive my car for free, I can drive my car for free. That's all you hear is the electric vehicle is, oh, it's cheaper to drive. It's free. It's not. And in fact, I think in the end of the day, it'll be as much or more than the ICE vehicle when it's all said and done. I think that you're going to pay a tax to recharge your vehicle. I think your car is going to have a system in it Oh, here's my sales guy. What's going on with this, right? Why is my sales guy calling me? Uh-oh. You there?
Hey.
You found a super stock?
Yeah.
Huh. 2021. How many miles?
39 miles.
Oh, God. This thing's going to be stupid money. Stupid money. I guarantee you're going to be telling me $150 for this thing, if not more. Huh?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. You're getting the price now.
Say what now?
You're getting the price for you now.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying that super stock. Yeah, I'll be interested. Yeah, you definitely, do you have the window sticker on it?
Yeah, I can see you the sticker.
You do?
98,600.
That's what the sticker was on the car.
Yeah.
What's it show? The motor. What motor does it show in it?
The motor is the 6.2 liter high output engine.
Is it the red eye motor? I'm not fixated on super stock, and so I've got buddies on the forum that'll know this better than me. I thought they had the red eye motor. I thought it did.
It's a red eye motor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why it's a super stock. But I mean,
220 mile an hour, right?
That's what it's telling you?
Yeah, that's the red eye motor.
Wow. So you're saying it's the Gold Rush?
The Gold Rush color.
Wow.
I'm gonna send you the look of it, and then we'll go from there.
So this is a car guys want to part with. It's already been parted with, and it's for sale.
It's for sale. I can get it. So
You
I'm
can
gonna
get it.
send it. Email it to you.
Yeah, but I'm scared to hear the price.
Ew, are they rare or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could order them, but not a lot of people order them, and it took a long time to get them. So, but I was never fixated in super stock because, and my buddies on the forum will be laughing at me, but it's kind of like the Demon replacement, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's track ready to take to the.
Does it have to be that color, Gary?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, no, it doesn't. Doesn't have to be, no. But
You just want a lot of options on top of everything in it.
I'm just what I'm fixated on is what is something I can pick up right now. The ice age come to an end for Dodge. That down the road, it'd be like, holy crow! Did I just pick up a 426 Hemi Cuda, 1971? Is this 1971 all over again?
Really? Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel so strongly. This is 1969, 1970, 1971 all over again. And years down the road, it's going to be just stupid numbers for these cars.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe my retirement money, 20 years from now.
You already see what the Demon's doing already.
Say what?
In 1 year. The Demon. You already see what the Demon's doing.
Yeah, well, I never wanted a Demon just because I wanted something to drive and have fun in. I just didn't like the setup. You know what I mean?
$200,000.
Well, yeah, not really. I mean, they're right now. They're not getting crazy numbers like they used to. They $125, $150 here and there, but no, those $200,000 things, those are kind of gone for right now. But yeah, they'll come back, no doubt about that. You know what I mean? So, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but you need to. I mean, I sincerely think that's a long shot because I think it's a $150 car. $125. I'd say a $125. Huh?
Raised probably higher than that.
You think it's higher than that?
Yeah, I think your price probably be like 160.
Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in that. I mean,
It's only 3,900 miles.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. I get it. I'm sure it's a $150 car. We're just trying to move it. Low, barely ever used miles.
We need to find something that's got loaded, like it doesn't have to be that color. So I did find a 21 98 6. That's not the secret. Hold on, it's 21 39 miles. That blue you like.
Talking about the frostbite?
It's not the cross white, it's indigo blue.
Yeah.
See, 90,000 sticker.
One brand new. 2021.
Yeah.
Does it have leather interior?
Apple Terrace interior.
Yeah.
Let's see what else it has.
Sunroof?
Sunroof, yes.
It does or doesn't?
It does have the sunroof.
Must not have the LED light package though.
It does not have that.
Right. And it doesn't probably have the Harman Kardon upgraded stereo, or does it?
So it does not have that. So that's why it's getting.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
We're looking for something that's like 94, 93.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, it's more about leather. The radio system, I'm not really too worried about that. Sunroof's debatable. More about leather interior. I just do not like those cloth interiors. I mean, just,
Right.
I hate them. It's so cheesy. Cheesy. You know what I mean? So, all right, you still searching? Are you still searching then?
Yeah, we're looking for the full leather or just a half tone.
All right, well, are the dirty secrets starting to prevail? I think the dirty secrets are starting to prevail. Because if you listen to that conversation, you just kind of heard, what's kind of going on. Yeah, am I thinking about buying another Dodge Hellcat? Yes, I am. Do I already have a deal on a Dodge Hellcat? Yes, I do. Oh my God, this is just crazy. So, is it another Carvana experience? It could be. So, oh my gosh. And for me, I've got mixed feelings about even doing this. But, good Lord. Already hearing these numbers and some of these Hellcats, what they're starting to bring, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Because last year I sold my Red Eye Hellcat back to dealer for I think I got 78 grand out of it. I think. I could be wrong on that. Could have been 75. So, which wasn't bad because that's about what I paid for it because it was all the big discounts. But that car today, if I took it back now, I mean, as far as in the market, that car is going to bring now like 90 grand, 95 grand, maybe even 100 grand. Wow. So just in a little over a year now since I sold that car, me selling it on my own, I feel confident I would get 95 grand for that car. 90 minimum. Wholesale, probably 80 be my guess if it didn't have high miles, which it didn't. So yeah, so for me now, here's the kicker. I just let go of that Gold Rush TA Scat Pack edition, actually to a YouTube guy that bought it, meaning a guy that saw my channel and lives in Texas, and Kuhn's Towing Ford shipped that car to him in Texas. And he reached out to me, he loves the car, appreciates how it's all in great shape, and that was really cool. So now, I really liked that theme of that car. It's just different, even though it's like that pea yellow color, but it's a Gold Rush 70s theme I was talking about yesterday. So, and they're not that common. So part of me is like, that's kind of cool. So yeah, on Carvana, I found a wide body red eye 2021. They only made the Gold Rush color, 1 year, 2021. And the car's low mileage, and the price is respectable. It's not great, but it's not bad. And so, right now I have a deal that if I want to go ahead and pull it through, it goes through. I can cancel the deal. So right now, technically with Carvana, I have a Gold Rush, wide body, red eye, with full leather interior, no moonroof, sunroof on it, but I have that being delivered to my house next Tuesday if I keep the deal. Well, after I kind of did that Carvana deal, I got to think, I should reach out to my buddies at Kuhn's Baltimore Ford and just see what they have. Do they? And I know they don't have anything sitting around, but they have so many contacts, they can go find one. So that's what's going on. You're hearing my sales guy. They're now doing research to see if there's something out there that I get interested in. They go get it and bring it, and I'll buy it from them. Yeah, how crazy am I? Yeah, I'm totally crazy on this one because I'm a guy that I do believe that the economic hardships are upon our doorstep. I really do. And I'm sure some people are like, you're full of baloney. Hey, I truly have no problem being wrong. I don't care. I'm the type of person where I'm stuck up, where I made a mistake. Okay, so what? Who cares? Move on. Are you fixated on the dead person that's 6 foot under that made a mistake 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago? I mean, give me a break. Are you wondering about those people that are 6 foot under that we all knew what they were going through in certain days of their lives right now? Nope. It's all about you. It's all about me. That's how we operate. Sadly, forget about the ones that were with us. I mean, that's the reality. So, anyways, the whole point is, for me, I'm just on the page that these Hellcats, especially the red eye package, is going to be a sought-after vehicle. It's going to be kind of like that 426 Hemi, because the red eye motor is a Demon motor. It wasn't a dime a dozen motor. The Demon motor is not in the TRX Ram. The Demon motor is not in the Trackhawk. So the Demon motor is not in the SRT Hellcat Durango. So that Demon motor is a special motor. And they didn't just put them in anything they could put them in. It was only in the Challenger the first year out, and then it went to the Charger red eye package the second year. Some would be like, why don't you get a red eye Charger? And if it was more about me driving around a lot, I would, because that'd be a more comfortable car to drive around. But to me, this is more about an investment, a car I pick up, and if I keep it, and down the road, if I want to sell it, I think I'm going to make some pretty good money out of it. And I wouldn't buy a Charger because it's, to me, more of the car, to me, the sought-after drivability car, not park the car and have that retro Challenger look that draws more people to the Hellcat community is the Challenger, not the Charger. The running joke is the Charger is a 4-door taxi. So yeah, decisions, right? That's what it's all about. Decisions. And for me, I'm the crazy guy. I'm crazy. Do I even keep on going this direction? Or do I step back and say, you know what? The economy's going to come to a grinding crash. And once again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope people don't go through hardships, but I don't know. We'll find out as time goes on. But even with that, does that vehicle, even radically impacted on that? I definitely think that the high volume, people buying them will slow down, but does it really kill the value? I don't think it will. Yeah, I think you'll have a harder time getting crazy numbers like that super stock. I don't think the guy that owns a super stock is going to get a $150, for the super stock in tougher times. Could he get a $150 for it right now? I don't know. And I don't know what that number is. And, I don't know. The super stock's a really unique, car. It's a badass car. Would it be something to pursue? But you're just getting now into stratosphere numbers, and it's just too much money. That's the thing about life. I talk about this. Eventually you have to pick and choose. I mean, even for me, if I do this Hellcat Challenger, do I eventually have to look in the mirror and say, you know what, the GT500 magnetic, it's got to go away? I don't know. I mean, for me, it then comes to pick and choose. Is, at some point you have to say to yourself, what do I give up? And that's the challenge of life. And that was the reason the Gold Rush Challenger, went away, because my daughter came to closure that she likes the GT50 Mustang experience more than the Challenger experience. And so for her, I looked at her and said, okay, you just have to let me know what you want to do, because you can't have both. And she came to closure that the Challenger could be sacrificed for the Mustang. And I'm sure some of my Mopar buddies be like, oh my gosh. Well, it's the daughter's excitement, not mine. And I can honestly tell you that the Mustang stick shifting is more fun than the Dodge Challenger. And I know my buddies will be like, oh, they'll just roll their eyes back. Well, have you driven a Mustang lately? The GT50 Mustang with the rev matching and blah, 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 but it's fine. Once again, who cares? I'm glad you love your Challenger stick shift. I'm tickled pink for you, because I don't want you to own everything I own. And that's my goal here with this Challenger. Oh, now I'm on the back roads. Why I'm on the back roads? Because I'm on the back roads, because all the traffic. This DC area is just notorious for lockdowns. So I'm just taking a whole different way to work my way back, and not a real big deal. But oh my gosh. So now it's getting complicated. I've kind of been keeping under the wrap for me, possibly buying another frickin' Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye, which, as usual, for me, it's like, how crazy am I? How crazy? Yeah, I know, I'm crazy, but here's the thing. I just got done talking to my Coons Baltimore guys, because they want to get a deal, and they really want to find me a Hellcat Red Eye. They'd rather not me do the Carvana deal. So now they're working their little fannies off to, or do they have big fannies? Off to, we don't want to know, right? They're working their tails off to try to find me a Hellcat Red Eye that I think I'd be interested in. Okay. And actually, they found me some pretty cool Hellcat Red Eyes. But they're wanting a lot of money. So now the Carvana deal is even making more sense, because of, we're talking a lot of money difference. Not a little bit, we're talking a lot. So that's what I'm now telling my sales guy. It's like, oh my gosh, right here's Sugarloaf. So they call it over there Sugarloaf Mountain. So it's just complicating things now for me. And once again, the one cool thing about Carvana is they literally can bring the car to your home, and until you sign that dotted line, they don't take your money. So I mean, sincerely, Carvana's presentation is, and I know that because I bought a Toyota 4Runner from them. This is pretty cool. The Maryland side here, you kind of see what I'm looking at driving down the road. Got rid of all the car traffic in front of me, thank goodness. Yeah, so what's pretty cool about Carvana is, I get to test drive the car. They bring it to my home. I can go to the vending machine Carvana thing. I'm not going to do that again. That's too much of a pain in the ass to get over there, get back. Plus, the car actually will come like 3-4 days earlier than going to the vending machine, which that's interesting. On why that is. Maybe they're jammed up with people going there to get cars. I don't know. So anyways, the good news of Carvana is the deal doesn't go down until I sign the paperwork. So I now have some time. So as I told you earlier, technically right now, Tuesday of next week, Carvana's going to deliver me a Gold Rush wide body scat pack. Not funny. Well, what I had a wide body scat pack. Some may ask, well, why the hell did you sell that damn thing? It's just a Hellcat. The motor, oh my gosh, it's night and day. Especially that manual transmission. I mean, that manual transmission. Now, if that thing would have had an automatic, but it was all about the kid wanting a manual transmission Challenger. What do I do for my kid? Yeah, the sacrifices, right? So it was all about the kid. So I got a manual transmission. I never wanted a manual transmission. I don't like that long shift transmission, in my opinion, over the Mustang's transmission. I'm sorry, Dodge guys that are the manual shifter lovers. Cool. I'm glad. I've driven them. I just don't want the manual transmission. I like the automatic. It's faster. It's faster. Period. You do not get the speed out of these Hellcats out of these manual transmissions. The technology of automatic transmissions outdoes a manual transmission. And most people know that. So, the whole point is I drove that car to Florida last year. And then when I was in Florida last summer, I did a lot of driving with it. And you know what? I ran that car. And to me, that manual transmission, you just can't get that. It just isn't. The manual if that car would have the automatic transmission, what I've maybe been more than Paige, it's more about me and keep it, possibly, because that was more about the daughter, and I don't want a manual transmission. I do not want a manual transmission Challenger. I'm sorry, that's who I am. So anyways, now going back to, Carvana is supposed to deliver me my wide body, red eye, Hellcat, Gold Rush package, I should say the Gold Rush color, next Tuesday. And it's got the leather black interior, and it's got the upgraded Harman Kardon stereo. It has the performance spoiler. It has the upgraded LED lights. It has, I don't know, I have to kind of look at the build sheet to see the other things that it has. So, so it's well packaged out, and it wasn't a cheap car. So meanwhile, now Coons Baltimore Ford, they're trying to see if they can find me a red eye Hellcat, and which they are. They found me a few, but a bunch of them are all base models. Cloth interior. I do not want the cloth interior. I just can't stand that Dodge cloth interior. To me, it's just so cheesy. I don't like it. I don't want it. So, and yeah, I can put leather in down the road. Sure, yeah, whatever. So, the idea is you buy the Challenger red eye where it's already opted out and already has good value. So down the road, somebody looks at the car, they're going to be like, wow, this car here, this is all factory. They mod things. That has value to it. Especially as these cars become more unique. You don't want to take it. Like, I'd be an idiot to take my GT500 Heritage Edition and make it a code red. That new 1,300 horsepower, totally misled information, GT500. Yeah, let me take my Heritage, have them gut out the supercharger, and put in twin turbos and convert it to E85 and blah, 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 blah. It's totally taken the whole true character of that car, gone. So you're going to put 300 grand in that car. I'll be more than that. You're going to be at $350,000. The Heritage Edition, the price for it, taxes, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be at $330. Yeah, yeah, wow. You think you're going to get $330,000 for your GT500 code red down the road? I guess it's possible, but whoo, that's a hell of a lot of money to be playing with to think you're getting that back anytime soon. I would not bet on that. So, anyways, but here's what's going on. This is just reinforcing my thoughts that the Hellcat red eyes are already starting to be sought after, and people are starting to pay stupid money for them. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. And as more people wake up that this is the last year to get the Hellcat, it's even going to be that much more sought after. It's going to drive the value of that car even more. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind, especially GT500. Soon as that September reveal at 650 is revealed, and if Jim Farley or whoever the representative, be Ford Performance, I don't know, who'll be doing the reveal, because it's just the S650 Mustang reveal, so I don't know if it'd be Ford Performance side of it saying that. But if anybody says in that reveal, oh, by the way, the 550's done, the Mach 1's done, the 500 GT500's done, I can promise you the phone's gonna start ringing all these Ford dealerships. Hey, do you have a GT500? Hey, you know anybody with GT500? Any GT500? I guarantee you. I'll just be amazed if that doesn't play out. Just like the, I went to Coons Dodge yesterday, and, there was a red eye, octane red I talked about. That's gone. Now that narrow body red eye, I mean, I just don't think that's the look. Even though some people out there love that look, I just don't know if that's going to be the. I don't know. I don't think that's going. I think that's going to be the deal car. That's going to be the person that buys that gets the deal. You know, they're like, oh, okay, I'll take it because I'm getting a hell of a deal on that vehicle. You know, here's the back country roads, and this is where the danger is. You come around. So here's the danger. This is kind of a short road. So if I go around this guy here, he'll catch up to me, or does he catch up to me? You know, I don't know. Interesting. I don't really talk much about this truck, but I need to put it in the sport mode. You know, sport mode just changes this thing, you know, instantly. I mean, the sport mode's the only way to drive this truck, and I even forget. I mean, it's funny on how I literally forget all the time. I just forget, you know, sport mode. It's sport mode. This truck is like night and day in sport mode. It's just incredible how, even for me, the car enthusiast, I ride around cars, and even for me, it's like, duh, you're not even driving the car to its utmost performance and potential. And I've been driving this whole time talking, and I really forgot about, you know, the sport mode. Sport mode. So what are you getting on fuel mileage in this? That would be, let's check that out. Fuel economy, 20. And you know what's really interesting is that's pretty good. Let's see if I get a trip 1, trip 2, so same thing. So yeah, we like that. So anyways, you know, my other Rangers that I have, and I put bigger tires on them, those never get 20 miles a gallon. You know, those vehicles that I've talked about this before, the Ranger. It's funny, I'm driving a Ranger. I've done some Ranger videos. They don't get much traction. I know, it's like big deal, whoop-de-doo-dah. You know, why, you know, okay, the Ford Ranger, but even though for me, I think it's a great truck, great package, but even though the Ford Maverick has really taken the appeal away from this truck. There's so many people that want to buy the Ford Maverick over the Ranger, but to me, it's like the Maverick is nothing close to like a little truck or a, you know, a medium-sized, you know, truck feel. This drives like a nice truck, and it really does. This truck gets on the road so easily. In that sport mode, you get yourself in trouble. It just rock and rolls. This 4-cylinder turbo motor really does a good job, and as you can see, it's respectable mileage, and that's 87 octane fuel, so it's not too shabby on that, you know, but it's pretty impressive to think that my Raptor truck is getting 19 miles a gallon. I mean, I would be more like to say that's an 18 mile per gallon vehicle. I don't think it should be 19, 20. I'd say more solid 18 overall be good, which that's not bad for the size of that vehicle, which is pretty impressive. All right, so here we are, the impressions day that I started the video at early this morning, and now I've come full circle on, you know, talking about the Hellcat again and the Rivian from yesterday's conversations, and you know, and now I've kind of disclosed a lot of information that I usually don't do because the deal hasn't gone down yet, and even for me, I think I'm crazy. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't disagree. It's like, oh my gosh, you're crazy to go buy another freaking car. You just had a whole video you want to get rid of debt, and yeah, I agree. I don't know. Yeah, my car addictions, right? The never-ending car addictions. I hear you loud and clear on the other side of this video, but for me, I'm more on the page right now that I feel confident of the vehicles I'm buying, that I can sell them if I have to. And it would be really cool if I could sell them and make some good money out of them, but I don't think that's going to happen as quick as I'd like it to happen. And then, you know, some people will be like, why would you even part with some of those things? I don't know. You know, it just kind of depends on the economic circumstances and what gets me excited and doesn't get me excited. That's the challenge. You know, I'm not the guy that keeps the same car forever. So you really think I'm going to keep those other cars forever? Yeah, I'd like to think that the GT500 Heritage Edition would be a forever car. That'd be pretty cool. A lot of money. Yeah, I'd like to think the GT500 Magnetic I bought for a second time would be a forever car. I don't know. I mean, that's a challenge in my life, keeping things that I buy and not replacing them with something else. Yeah, right. second guess yourself, right? Road here, and there's a little projects guy there. There's a Tesla. Tesla. That Rivian is so Tesla. That's what the Rivian is. The Rivian's a Tesla. That's the Cybertruck. I don't know why. I'm surprised the Rivian guy didn't approach Elon and say, look, I've got your truck. Here it is. Partner up with me and we can even get bigger. I mean, think about it. But I get it. The Rivian guy wants to be his own show and make all the calls and shots. So I get all that. Yeah, so I don't know. The Thursday conversations. So what's the Friday conversations? Right? What's the next, Yeah, well, as you know, I'm still, I haven't for sure closed the book of my final decision on the Hellcat. I really haven't. I'm still thinking about it. And some people are like, yeah, but I don't know, man. Well, you saw yesterday the Rivian. I mean, if that was a much cooler vehicle and more practical, and I had more confidence in it being in the market and the values and the problems that could arise, you could fix it. Yeah, I'd be more on that page, maybe getting one. But from all the things I experienced yesterday, no, I'm not interested in that vehicle. So there's an example of me that you went with me somewhere, and I was like, no, I don't want it. Even though at one point, you probably thought, oh, here we go. This guy's going to buy a Rivian. Okay? I went to Coons Dodge, and they pulled out a Hellcat Red Eye that I had no desire. No, I had that wide body, that narrow body look, and that, the gray color Dodge, whatever they call it. I can't even think of the name of it. I know the name of it, but I can't think of it. And the quartz or silver, magnetic, whatever. So the you saw how I was like, nope, I'm not interested. Then I went up the street to Coons Chevrolet, and they had another one, same car, not the Red Eye, but it's a wide body, but same paint theme. And nope, I'm not interested. I just don't like it. I'm not excited. So so some may say, well, yeah, but every time you look at a car, you buy it. Well, that's not true. I don't make a video every time I go to a car dealership. Wouldn't you be just sick of that? I mean, come on. Maybe watch my channel and be like, Jesus Christ, you'd have probably thousands of videos. you'd have more videos. You'd have to have a library. You'd have to have A through Z files. And what year? And what day? And what vehicle? I mean, it would be the computer. I don't think YouTube's channel could even hold all my content. Everybody calling me saying I got to start paying them even more. I got to pay them. I got to pay them to be able to talk on YouTube. When's that going to happen, right? That'll be the next phase, right? Oh, if you're going to be a YouTuber, you have to pay to publish your YouTube channel if you want people to listen to you. Oh, yeah, you think I'm making that up? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, times have changed, right? All right, getting closer to home. And where's the school bus? So it's happening. School's back in. Oh yeah, remember this? I truly hauled back my Indian motorcycles, thinking we'd do some riding. I mean, that's my goal. Is I'm gonna do some riding up here. I was gonna put the exhaust on. Yeah, how's that playing out? We're not this weekend, but next weekend is the Labor Day weekend, and we're going back down to Tennessee. I mean, oh my gosh, borderline. I pulled these motorcycles home just to turn around and end up, basically hauling them back down. Yeah, and what's the next adventure on that? What's the next motorcycle adventure? Oh my gosh, you don't even want to know about that. Yeah, I hear ya. The adventures of Ice Age TV continue.